Lolong Donaire versus Kanoh Agito, who has had the better build-up as the final boss. In this video, we will compare Agito and Lolong Donaire's build-up as a formidably strong character within Kengan. Both these characters have become fan favorites within the Kengan realm, and to this day they are fighters destined for glory. The processes of their build-up has made them staple characters full of mystery and power. Many fans are hyped when either of these characters are involved in any situation. Let's first take a look at how Kanoh Agito was introduced into Kengan. As soon as Kanoh Agito entered the fray of the Annihilation Tournament, we all knew him as the Fang of Metsudo, a title only given to those who wield power and strength levels above any other fighter. From his title alone, we all knew that this man was a beast to be reckoned with. Lolong Donaire also has a similar introduction epithet to Kanoh. Lolong is known as one of the kings of purgatory. It has been strongly hinted that Lolong is the best fighter amongst the purgatory roster. There have been several instances where Lolong can be seen as the top dog of purgatory. Let's look at the personalities of both Lolong and Kanoh. Now, Kanoh can be seen as a nonchalant, chilled character who does not need to show off his strength. The only instance when Kanoh cranks up his behavior into a psycho is when he is faced with a challenge that he deems as worthy. Lolong, on the other hand, is very laid back and patient. Lolong also pays very close attention to detail. As we see, he is able to analyze and critically discuss and understand what's going on in different matches. This shows us that he has a very heightened sense of fight IQ, which additionally adds to the strong demeanor that Lolong has. Both Kanoh and Lolong, the final bosses, have had interactions with our fighting protagonist, Ohma Tokita. Kanoh first came across Ohma after winning his first match in the Annihilation Tournament. Ohma was told by Agito that he is weak and then proceeded to kick him into a wall. Now, this was some slick energy used by Kanoh, setting himself as an absolute badass final boss and set the stage for him to come out on top. Lolong, on the other hand, had two different altercations with Ohma. The first being after the death of Naiden Monkbat, where every remaining fighter headed to the stage and had a face-off. We saw Ohma and Lolong face to face that created some interesting final boss vibes. The second altercation that these two had was after Lolong stepped in to the stage to stop the fight between Akoya and Nicholas by knocking them back with one blow, to which Ohma entered the stage and we had our "come at me bro" moment by Lolong, who asked Ohma if he was going to try fight him too. Now, this was most definitely some final boss level energy Lolong had portrayed. Other important feats we need to realize about both Lolong and Kanoh is the statements and information that we have about each of them. Let's first start off with Kanoh. We know that Kanoh's backstory is revolved around the Gu ritual, which he was the only survivor of, and this pretty much makes him a savage in his own right. The first Fang of Metsudo even refers to him as a 1 in a million years fighter, the likes of which no one else will ever compare to. So Kanoh is no layabout. He is a solid final boss when it comes to Kengan battles. As of this video, there isn't that much backstory information on Lolong. The only information we have of Lolong is that he was the winner of the Purgatory Gladiator Tournament, which may be similar to the Kengan Annihilation Tournament, and this could possibly mean that Lolong is the Kuroki of Purgatory. We also know that he is a born leader that does not take shit from anyone, such as the time where Yumi had talked down to him, to which he replied for Yumi to say it again, but Yumi ended up bitching out. And Yumi is probably the most cockiest person within Kengan right now, and for him to be scared of Lolong, it speaks a lot of volumes. Also, Carlos even stated that he feels sorry for the Kengan team due to the fact that they have to take on Lolong, which further adds to his credibility as the final boss. So overall, I believe that Lolong Donaire has been built as the best final boss within Kengan so far. Now, the reason why Lolong is the best final boss is because of the way that he acts and the statements that are made about him. Now, him being so laid back and also being very cautious and also having a lot of fight IQ, it builds to the credibility that this guy is no layabout. He is going to destroy whoever he fights. Now, I cannot wait to see him on the stage when he goes to fight. Now, Kanoh Agito, he did have good development, but I believe that there are some personality issues with Kanoh that make him less of a final boss than Lolong is. I believe that all the attributes that Lolong has makes him a better and well-rounded final boss than Kanoh Agito.